Welcome to the most extravagant dynasty on Earth, where palaces glitter, super yachts house priceless art, and a single royal family commands $1,400 billion, 0 cents. From desert beginnings to global dominance, step into the untouchable world of Saudi Arabia's royal elite. Hit subscribe, we're just getting started. From desert clan to juggle power. Long before skyscrapers pierced the Riyadh skyline, the House of Saud ruled over sand, not steel. In the late 1700s, the dynasty emerged through a strategic alliance between Muhammad ibn Saud, a tribal leader, and Islamic reformer Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab. This religious political pact didn't just create a kingdom, it created a legacy. Fast forward to the early 20th century, and Saudi Arabia was still a land of camel caravans and date palms. But everything changed in 1938, when a modest drilling crew struck black gold at Dammam Well No. 7. That moment didn't just shift fortunes, it rewired global energy markets. Overnight, a tribal monarchy became an energy empire. Within a few decades, oil revenue transformed tents into palaces and sand trails into freeways. The Saudis weren't just selling oil, they were selling influence. And they had it in spades. The discovery catapulted them into international politics, making Saudi Arabia a critical partner to Western superpowers. The House of Saud didn't just sit on the oil, they drilled, refined, shipped, and eventually took full control of the entire value chain through what is now Saudi Aramco. By 1980, the state fully nationalized Aramco, converting it into a multi-trillion-dollar asset that would bankroll decades of royal prestige. That's not just power, that's petro-perfection. Today, the kingdom's staggering $1,400 billion 0 cents wealth traces its roots right back to that historic well. And if you were to visit the original Dammam No. 7 site, now preserved as a national landmark, you'd be standing on the exact soil where one of the greatest financial transformations in human history began. This wasn't just a desert story. It was the birth of a dynasty powered by oil, strategy, and a royal vision that would one day rival empires. Saudi Aramco, the $2 trillion 0 cents juggernaut. When people talk about the world's biggest money machine, they're not referring to Apple or Amazon. They're talking about Saudi Aramco, a state-owned oil titan that quietly pumps more wealth than any other company on Earth. And yes, its valuation? An eye-popping $2 trillion 0 cents. Aramco isn't just an oil company. It's the engine of the Saudi economy, producing over 10 million barrels per day, feeding the global energy market while printing billions in daily revenue. That's not a typo. Billions every single day. Headquartered in Dhahran, Aramco is vertically integrated from ground to gas station, exploring, drilling, refining, and shipping crude oil across the globe. It owns some of the most advanced refineries in the world and its own massive shipping arm, including oil tankers that dwarf skyscrapers. This isn't business, it's infrastructure power at a global scale. And when the company went public in 2019, it raised $29.4 billion 0 cents in what became the largest IPO in history, instantly boosting the royal family's financial firepower and making Saudi Aramco the crown jewel of Crown Prince MBS's Vision 2030. But here's the twist. While most of us see oil as a commodity, the House of Saud sees it as leverage. Aramco funds royal palaces, mega projects like NEOM, and global investments through the Public Investment Fund, PIFF. When MBS purchased the $450 million 0 cents Salvator Mundi painting, or the $500 million 0 cents super yacht Serene, those weren't splurges, they were flexes of Aramco-backed liquidity. The bottom line? Saudi Aramco isn't just a company. It's a power source for political dominance, global investments, and royal luxury. It's how the kingdom turned crude oil into global clout. And with reserves that could last for another century, this juggernaut isn't slowing down. It's just getting warmed up. Crown Prince, MVS, and Vision 2030. Now buckle up. Because Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS, isn't just a royal with a gilded lifestyle. He's a man on a mission. At just 38, MBS is reshaping the future of Saudi Arabia through his brainchild, Vision 2030. This isn't just a slogan, it's a trillion-dollar roadmap to break the kingdom free from its oil addiction. At the heart of it, projects so ambitious they make Las Vegas look like a rest stop. Start with Neom, a $500 billion zero-sense futuristic city being built from scratch. No roads, no pollution, just flying taxis, robotic servants, and AI-confronted infrastructure stretching across 10,000 square miles. MBS wants this to be the Silicon Valley of the desert. And then there's Qiddiya, Saudi Arabia's answer to Disney World, and The Line, a 105-mile linear smart city with 0 cars, 0 emissions, and glass towers slicing through the desert. Yes, it's as wild as it sounds, and it's already under construction. But this isn't just about vanity. MBS is using the $700 billion zero-sense public investment fund to plant Saudi influence around the world, from buying Newcastle United FC to snapping up stakes in Uber, Lucid Motors, Disney, and even Activation. This is diversification with global teeth. And let's not forget, MBS himself lives the life of a modern pharaoh. His $500 million zero-sense Yacht Serene carries a $450 million zero-sense Da Vinci painting and a full-blown spa, cinema, and submarine dock. This isn't luxury, it's a statement. Vision 2030 is bold, expensive, and controversial, but make no mistake, MBS is playing to win. Whether he succeeds or not, the game has already changed. Palaces, yachts, and arts worth millions. Now let's take a peek inside the royal playground, where wealth becomes architecture, art, and awe. Start with the palaces, not mansions, palaces. The Saudi royal family owns over 20 royal residences, but the crown jewel is Al Yama Palace in Riyadh, a sprawling compound used for both state affairs and private luxury, worth over $1.2 billion. And then there's the Urga Palace, where heads of state are welcomed with golden swords and Arabian horses. Not a detail is overlooked, from helicopter pads to indoor banquet halls that can seat hundreds under ceilings, hand-painted by European artisans. But that's just the beginning. Enter the superyacht Serene, purchased for a jaw-dropping $500 million, zero-sense. This isn't just a boat, it's a floating palace, complete with a helipad, multiple swimming pools, a private beach club, and a submarine escape pod. And the masterpiece? Hanging aboard is Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi, acquired for $450 million, zero-sense, making it the world's most expensive painting at auction. It doesn't just hang, it sails. The fleet of royal yachts includes other giants like Amara, custom-built to be an entertainment hub on water, rumored to host elite events with hand-picked global guests. From white-glove chefs to underwater viewing lounges, these yachts are moving kingdoms. And it doesn't stop at the sea. The family's private art collection spans Islamic antiquities, European masterpieces, and modern works valued at over $1 billion, zero-sense. This is luxury as diplomacy, where every object tells the world. The royal car collection, gold on wheels. Now buckle up, because no garage on earth quite compares to what's parked inside the Saudi royal car vault. This isn't a collection. It's a mobile museum of power. Let's start with the headliner, the $8,200,000 zero-sense Bugatti Le Voyeur Neue. Dubbed the Black Car, this ultra-rare masterpiece is one of a kind, capable of hitting 260 mph, with a quad-turbo W16 engine and a silhouette sculpted like a jet on wheels. It's not just fast, it's art in motion. Then there's the Rolls-Royce Phantom, dipped in 24-karat gold, custom interiors, lambswool rugs, starlight ceilings, and a champagne chiller embedded in the rear seats. The gold trim alone cost over $1 million, zero-sense, making this the most regal Rolls ever built. But it doesn't stop there. The Pagani Huayra, hand-built in Italy and priced at $5,500,000, zero-sense, sits proudly among the fleet. Its gull-wing doors open like a hawk mid-slight, revealing carbon fiber everything, gold accents, and a V12 engine that sounds like thunder at full speed. Only 100 units were ever made, and one of them lives in Riyadh. Add to that Ferraris, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, and even a custom-made Koenigsegg CCXR, valued at $4,800,000, 0 cents. Each one is fitted with custom plates, royal insignias, and interiors tailored to perfection. Think ostrich leather, diamond-studded dashboards, and tech from the future. And yes, these aren't just for display. MBS and the princes are known to drive them, whether roaring through the desert or cruising along the French Riviera. This is not about horsepower, it's about story on wheels. Every engine revs with a message. This is what supreme royalty looks like in the 21st century. The power of the PIF, a $500 billion 0-cent weapon. When you control $500 billion, you don't just buy things, you rewrite the rules of global business. That's exactly what Saudi Arabia is doing with the Public Investment Fund, better known as the PIF. Under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's leadership, the PIF has transformed into a global power engineer, valued at over $776 billion. The PIF now owns a 17% stake in Lucid Motors, America's luxury EV rival to Tesla, an investment worth over $9 billion, 0 cents. They bought Newcastle United Football Club for $415 million, 0 cents, flipping a struggling Premier League team into a geopolitical branding machine for Saudi Arabia. Then there's real estate. From London's Savoy Hotel to New York's Times Square redevelopment, the PIF is scooping up landmark properties like they're collecting baseball cards. They've poured billions into Uber, Disney, Meta, and even Nintendo. Yes, Saudi Arabia owns a slice of Mario. This is not charity, it's strategy. These deals extend Saudi influence into Silicon Valley boardrooms, European stadiums, and Wall Street skyscrapers. The fund's portfolio touches everything: energy, gaming, entertainment, AI, and even SpaceX. And it's not just what they're buying, it's how they're shaping the future. The PIF bankrolls NEOM, the $500 billion 0-cent city of the future, and The Line, a 105-mile smart city with no roads, no emissions, and vertical living. With every investment, the message is clear. Saudi Arabia isn't just an oil giant anymore, it's a global power player. From private jets to public equities, the PIF is turning fortune into force, and the world is watching. NEOM, a $500 billion 0-cent city of the future. Imagine a city that stretches 105 miles in a straight line, has no roads, no cars, and runs entirely on renewable energy. That's not science fiction, it's NEOM, Saudi Arabia's most ambitious project yet. Backed by the $500 billion 0 cents Public Investment Fund, NEOM is more than just a city. It's a statement to the world that Saudi Arabia isn't just riding the wave of oil wealth, it's building the future. And at the heart of NEOM is The Line, a vertical smart city where 9 million people will live, stacked in mirror glass towers only 200 meters wide. This isn't just talk. Construction is well underway. Billions have already been spent on infrastructure, robotics, and AI. Flying taxis, robotic caretakers, and climate-controlled walkways are part of the daily blueprint. Other NEOM zones include Oxygon, the world's largest floating industrial hub, and Trillionaire, a futuristic ski resort set to host the 2029 Asian Winter Games in the middle of the desert. To make it all work, MBS is bringing in talent from around the globe, offering tech CEOs and designers multi-million-dollar contracts to help engineer this urban marvel. And the price tag? A staggering $1 trillion, 0 cents when fully realized, with early phases already soaking up over $100 billion, 0 cents. It's the kind of spending only a royal fortune could handle, and they're going all in. NEOM isn't just a city, it's a vision of tomorrow, backed by ancient royalty and shaped by cutting-edge science. From digital governance to zero-gravity entertainment concepts, NEOM aims to put Saudi Arabia at the top of the global innovation ladder. Welcome to the city of the future, built by the world's richest dynasty. Social reforms and cultural shifts. Saudi's great leap forward. For a country once known for ultra-conservative rules, Saudi Arabia under MBS is rewriting the playbook, and doing it fast. In 2018, the world watched in awe as Saudi women got behind the wheel legally for the first time. This wasn't just about cars, it was a shockwave that rippled through generations of tradition. For decades, such a move was unthinkable. Now, It's part of a bold, calculated shift. But the surprises didn't stop there. In just 5 years, Saudi Arabia opened over 20 state-of-the-art movie theaters, rolled out international concerts, and even hosted WWE events, K-pop performances, and the Red Sea Film Festival, pulling in stars like Sharon Stone and Johnny Depp. Behind it all is a clear strategy: modernize the kingdom without losing its soul. Cafes now buzz with young men and women, fashion designers are debuting runways in Riyadh, and the once taboo art world is blossoming with Saudi creatives. Crown Prince MBS isn't just changing policies, he's reshaping identity. His approach walks a fine line: maintain royal authority, embrace global culture, and offer the youth, 70% of the population is under 35, a future they'll stay to build. What looked like small reforms, they're part of a trillion-dollar social pivot designed to reinvent how the world sees Saudi Arabia and how Saudis see themselves. Tradition meets transformation, and the world is watching. The House of Saud isn't just the richest dynasty. It's a force reshaping the modern world. With $1.4 trillion, 0 cents in assets, they blend tradition, innovation, luxury, and diplomacy in ways that dazzle and divide. Whether it's a city in the clouds or a golden Bugatti, every choice signals dominance. If this peek into royal power stunned you, imagine what's next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories that reveal how the world's elite really live. You're just one click away from the next billion-dollar secret.